This is WFMY News 2 at 11 o'clock.
Dozens of dogs and cats seized from a triad groomer. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dana Arquilla in for Frank Mickens. Those animals are in protective custody tonight. WFMY News 2's Julia Bagg has the story you'll only see on 2. All right, thanks, Julia. Investigators expect to have more information next week. We'll make sure to keep you updated as the details come in. Haynes Mall in Winston-Salem looked a little different tonight than it does most Fridays. Tonight was the first night their new youth policy was in place. We have continuing coverage of a story we first broke this morning. A standoff that started at 4 a.m. in Greensboro ended up with a suspect being shot and killed by police. A local woman is out of jail after being charged in a crash that killed 3 people. 20-year-old Amanda Sperduti posted a $100,000 bond this afternoon. Officers who were with Sergeant died testified in court today. Keith Carter is on trial, charged with Pluff's murder. Sheriff's deputies have arrested a man and charged him with a string of break-ins. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office arrested 17-year-old Kendrick Burns. Police say the suspect forced open doors in each case and took jewelry and electronics. Tonight, Triad residents took part in a very special First Friday event in downtown Greensboro. North Carolina lawyers volunteered their time today to help you with your legal questions for free. This is the 3rd year for the For All Service Day. We have much more coming up on News 2 at 11. New concerns tonight that the fix for Toyota's pedal problems isn't working. Plus, a killer wave surprises a cruise ship full of people off the coast of Spain. And a dog wanders into a river, unable to paddle back to shore. See his dramatic rescue just ahead. And are currently looking for her owners.
How cute is
that?
Can
you imagine an hour and a half being trapped in those hard waters?
And trying to fight the current, you know, that long. And she looks so little,
I know.
Too.
What a survivor.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about a good forecast, finally, for a change. 5 of the 7 above normal.
There we go.
Actually looking forward to Monday on this one with that 61.
Yeah, 61, perfect.
All right, very nice. Thanks, Eric. Well, big night in basketball.
Always.
Before we go tonight, here's something to keep in mind before you start your day tomorrow. Tomorrow is National Be Kind Day. Millions of Americans are asking you to take a moment out of your busy day and do something nice for someone you don't know. Whether that's buying a cup of coffee, giving a compliment, volunteering, or sending something to troops overseas. We posted this story on our website on digtriad.com, and we want you to share your story about what your random act of kindness was. So start thinking about it, guys.
Yeah, it's always nice when you're at the drive-thru or something, you pay for somebody behind you and see how far it can keep going.
See how far it'll go.
That
always
is a neat
neat.
story.
Until the guy behind you has 37 kids and then you're in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, all right, let's just a quick look. Our forecast: highs tomorrow in the upper 40s. We're going to the 50s for the weekend, 60s on Monday, a little rain Tuesday, no snow in the outlook.
There we go.
Very nice. Thanks for watching us. We'll see you tomorrow. Sandra Harvey Gale Jr. could spend the weekend behind bars until his first court appearance on Monday. Earlier today, as he was being escorted into the jail, we tried to speak with him on camera, but he turned his head from our cameras. Well, Frank, folks I talked to today in these high crime areas say their streets used to be one big party with drinking and crime all over the area. But things have changed since the task force arrived. We posted a question on our Facebook page asking your GPS horror stories, and here's what we got. Kathleen Bedwell writes in, mine told me to turn off of a bridge several times on the way to Indian Beach, so I certainly never follow blindly. Steve Hall, the president of Lowe's Foods, says to make sure you wash these reusable cloth bags about once a month. He says to make sure you check the bottom of your bags for any leaks or stains, and if you are using these plastic-based bags, wipe them down with a disinfectant on a regular basis. Graffiti is a growing problem in Winston-Salem, and city leaders are working together to black out the problem.
WFMY News 2's Dana Arquilla is live. And Dana, what did you find out from emergency physicians?
Well, Frank, in this heat, you can't help but down bottles of water to stay cool, but drinking too much water can actually be dangerous. Frank, for those who tan, a new federal law means it is going to cost more. The health care bill includes a 10% tax on indoor tanning services, and some customers feel they're getting burned.
web reporter Dana Arquilla here, putting GPSs to the test. Dana, I heard this was a very noisy test for you guys.
A very noisy test indeed, Frank. Imagine several GPSs giving you different directions at the same time. We tested 3 major brands, and they were recently updated or relatively new, but we're lucky we found our way back to the station.
Follow Interstate 85 southbound.
GPS devices make it easier to get from one place to another.
After 1/4 mile, turn left. In 0.2 miles, turn right.
Or do they? We're on the loop right now headed to Winston-Salem, and apparently we're in the middle of nowhere. The Garmin knew exactly where we were. But as for the TomTom and Magellan, we're in outer space. This TomTom just told us to take a right, but there's no ramp.
Right.
So as we drove around, we decided to go back to the basics.
We get phone calls and people say, our GPS has led us such and such. Can you tell us how to get out?
Al Cleveland is one of 2 map makers left in the state of North Carolina.
Times have changed dramatically. The GPS has done a job on us. The number of the millions of GPSs that's put on the street has hurt the map business.
Even though some GPSs don't know where the new loop is, the map does.
We don't find that their updates are as good as the maps are.
Updates even on old roads, such as on Lawndale and West Cone. The TomTom tells us to get off just so we can get right back on. And in our unscientific and headache-inducing test,
Drive 0.4 miles, then exit right.
We found the Garmin was the most accurate, followed by the Magellan and then the TomTom.
Recalculating.
In the end, law enforcement says GPS is a great tool, but it recommends always having a map as a good backup.
We're finding the demand is coming back.
We posted a question on our Facebook page asking your GPS horror stories, and here's what we got. Kathleen Bedwell writes in, mine told me to turn off of a bridge several times on the way to Indian Beach, so I certainly never follow blindly. Rhonda Williams says her GPS kept telling me to turn right and travel 2 miles, and the hotel was right in front of me. Thank you to everyone who shared their stories with us. You can add your comments to this story on digtriad.com. Pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, we've all been there.
Dana Arquilla. Dana, what's the latest on this puppy?
Well, Sandra, vets who treated the puppy gave him the name Phoenix. A couple found him wandering around this area right here with over 40% of his body covered in burns. And because this is such a commercialized area, this case could even be harder to crack.
He has an infection in his in the burns. It's pretty bad. It's a foul odor from the skin and the burns. His whiskers are singed. His back legs are burned. Front legs, all under his stomach, pelvis area. It's burned.
Phoenix faces an uphill battle, and so does the Guilford County Animal Control, who's on the case.
Being that it was found in a commercial area, there's really nothing, there's not a residential area at the corner of Summit and Bessemer, so until we get any more information, there's not a whole lot to go on right now.
Animal Control is working hand in hand with the Greensboro Police Department. They're relying heavily on community support.
Any information we have, we are going to follow through on, and it may go door to door asking for any information if the dog was spotted in a neighborhood. Just anybody that may know anything at all, we'll just go door to door looking for any possible leads.
Right now, all they can work on is what little information they have.
You don't smell any liquid or chemicals on him. As we did with Susie, you could smell the lighter fluid.
And they're hoping to find justice for Phoenix and protection for the community.
If they're going to do this to Phoenix, will they do it to a child, to, people, or do it to another pet again? This is not the work of somebody who's in their right mind.
Shelter workers are optimistic for Phoenix's future. In fact, they say once his infection is cured, it could take about 4 to 5 months for recovery. And the good news is the couple who found Phoenix is actually interested in adopting him. Sandra.